continue our short discussion on lean, one of the elements I'd like you to look at is the 7 wastes. The 7 wastes are both a tool and a mechanism for improvement and a philosophy. And when you actually undertake and understand the philosophy of the 7 wastes, it can radically change the way you utilize your business, the way you actually do things, and the way you look for and introduce improvements. So what do we mean by waste, first of all? Firstly, waste is defined from a lean context as anything that doesn't add value. Anything that doesn't add value to the organization, to the system, to the process is defined as waste. How do we define value? Value is seen from the customer's perspective. Are we adding value from the customer's perspective? And it's a really, really hard and tough measure. Research done in the early 1990s or late 1990s throughout the UK showed that in the manufacturing sector, over 98% of the activity that they undertook was waste. Only 2% actually added value. Now that sounds a crazy statistic, but it was based on a very, very defined definition of waste. So what are the 7 wastes and how can they work for you? The first waste we talk about is overproduction. Overproduction is when we continue, for example, to process paperwork or process some files or whatever, when we know that the next person can't actually deal with them anyway. So we continue to run it through our process because we know that we've got the resource to do it at our workstation, but actually the next person's chocked up with work. That's an example of overproduction. And there's lots of others. And one of the elements of lean is to go for a walk and discover what's happening in your organization with what I call your lean glasses on, your Muda glasses. And we talk about the concept of going to Gemba, which is going to the place of operation. So get off your chair, get out of your office, walk around and put your Muda glasses on, Muda means waste in Japanese, and start looking for the 7 wastes. And the first one I mentioned was overproduction. The second one, and these are not necessarily in order, is waiting. So, do you have much waiting in your business? Waiting for information, waiting for customers, waiting for the previous operation to complete what they are doing, to flow the work through, etc., etc., etc. Running a meeting and waiting for people to turn up, that's waste. If you've got 10 people in a meeting, you wait 12 minutes for one person, you've wasted 2 hours. It's simple concepts like that which enable your organization to become more effective and efficient when you start looking at them. The third element is transporting. And transporting is the movement of product, files, goods, whatever, between people, between workstations, to your customers, etc. So how far does your product move? How far do your files move? And why? Why are we moving things around organizations when maybe we could redesign things so they're simpler? I did some work in an organization once where they were moving products over a mile. Do you think there was good communication between the 2 people who were doing that operation? No, there was zilch communication. And that was another waste to a certain degree. The next is inappropriate processing. And inappropriate processing is really using the wrong equipment, a sledgehammer to crack a nut, for example, or using people who are not trained to do work. Plus, whatever else you can determine within that category. It's not using the correct process, the right people, the well-trained people to undertake specific actions. And they all lead to waste. They all lead to non-value added activities. The next one is unnecessary inventory. And with an accountancy practice, I know that at the sort of tail end of the year, you've probably got a stockroom full of files, customers' files that need working on. What's the point? Why are they there? What's the point in having inventory which should be flowing out earlier and flowing out through the business in order to get it back to the customer or to get the work actually undertaken? And there are many, many examples of unnecessary inventory. I'm just talking very, very briefly here about some examples. The next one is more of an ergonomic problem, and this is the concept of unnecessary motions. This is when you get people stretching and reaching and bending and sometimes moving things around their desk all day, just moving from right to left, etc., stretching, reaching. And again, this is another example of waste because A, it wears your people out, and secondly, there is no systematic approach to flowing the work through the workstation and through the organization. And the final one, and last but certainly not least, is defects. Or not doing things right first time. Right first time every time, not just right second time. And defects can be a major source of rework, a source of work, and a source of waste from a lean perspective, but also why do jobs twice, 3 times, 4 times when you haven't got enough capacity anyway? So defects is a major issue in 90% of organizations that I've worked with, and certainly with many accountancy practice that we've looked at. So the 7 wastes together are fundamental to looking at your business and how you can improve your business and significantly improve the profitability of your business. Just one final thing, there are 2 types of waste. One we call non-essential waste. That's the stuff you don't need. Why is it there? Because it is, and it seems to evolve over time. What should you do with it? Eliminate it. No other question, you eliminate non-essential waste. The second one we call essential waste. These are things that you have to do. For example, you may have to move a file from A to B. But what you do is you reduce the impact of that movement by moving things closer together, or however you can change that situation. So just to summarize, 7 wastes, absolutely fundamental to looking at lean, but you need to get out of your office, walk around, put your Muda glasses on, and start seeing your business as it really is.